Hello and welcome. My name is Tom Shima, and today is Wednesday, July 1st. I'm going to be continuing to play the game Persona 3 Reload as a part of my Persona A Day series. That's why I've been playing the game one day at a time, where the real calendar lines up with the in-game calendar. I'm going to start off by going over what we did yesterday, just to make sure we're coming into today all with the same information. Then we'll get into today's gameplay and see where that takes us. And after that, we'll come back here and talk about it a bit more. And also, please be aware that since this is a full playthrough of the game, we will be encountering spoilers. Alright then, so let's look back at the conclusion of June, yesterday, June 30th. It was a normal school day, nothing the game called out as especially needing our attention. So, usual classes, lunch, socializing, just a nice Tuesday. So it quickly was the after-school hour, and I made my way over to Officer Kurosawa first off. Having ventured into Tartarus and rescued those people, I had some materials from the tower to sell. It was also an added bonus when I arrived and the couple people that we'd rescued had left rewards. And he said that the police aren't allowed to take rewards or anything like that, and he knew that we were the ones that rescued the people anyway, so he figured those rewards rightly belonged to the team. So he handed over 40,000 yen and 2 black quartz. A very nice reward for the effort we put in. I was glad to rescue the people, but being compensated like this is just huge. And with the remaining time in the afternoon, I decided to spend some time with Bebe. He'd sent me a text, and he was still not sounding too good. He recently lost his aunt, and he's just trying to process that as best he could, and he wanted to try to get back to sewing a little bit. So I wanted to be there for him in this time, and that was what I did. So we spent a little bit of time at the club, and we talked a little bit, and he did a little bit of work there, but before the normal time was over, he decided that was all he wanted to do for the day, and he instead asked me if I wanted to go get something to eat with him. So that sounded like a lot of fun. It would give us a chance to talk a bit more as well, so we headed to Wakatsu Kitchen. We both got a good-looking fish meal, and we just got to kind of talk a little bit. And eventually it came up that, with his aunt being the major supporter of his time in Japan, he was concerned. His uncle is less enthusiastic about this exchange student program, whatever you want to call it, and he thinks that Bebe needs to return back to France. The uncle doesn't even really want to continue to fund this study abroad plan any longer either. So Bebe was kind of at a loss for what to do. And I shared that same sentiment with him. I also really wish he can stay in Japan, and I said as much, so he was happy that I was on his side for that. We just need to come up with a plan now. So he's like wondering about ways he can try to show his uncle his love of Japan and try to convince him that by being here, he is where he belongs. And I'm going to try to come up with some options to help out in whatever way I can, but we've got the framework of a concept going on. I wouldn't say it's a plan just yet, but we've got something to kind of work towards to hopefully be able to keep Bebe in Japan where he wants to be. And so we kind of parted ways from there, feeling a little more positive. Obviously Bebe is still working through a lot of troubles and challenges, but I'm still in his corner and he's still happy to have me around. So that took our social link rank up to 5. So we parted ways in good spirits there. I headed back to the dorm. The very first thing I did when I got there was that lukewarm taiyaki I've been carrying around. I finally got it into that refrigerator. I missed that cleaning date last time and wasn't able to get it in there, so I was able to finally remember to do that yesterday, and it is in there chilling until I take it out now. It's not anything I have any immediate need for, but it's there now, so I'm happy to have finally gotten around to that. It was a tiny victory, but a victory nonetheless. With a bit more weight to the evening, I headed out to see the area. As I was getting cleaned up from looking at the garden, there was that reminder that I'd given that man in the suit at the mall some money a couple times as an investment. And so I headed out because I figured that was the game's way of saying maybe go check on that. And sure enough, I saw him standing by the fountain once again. And just like the last couple times, he said, "Oh, it's you. So good to see you. Unfortunately, I've got some bad news. You remember that investment? Well, a few people pulled out, so we're going to need a little bit more capital to make that baseline investment we need. But because there's fewer investors, that means your stake in the overall outcome is even higher. So will you part with another 10,000 yen? And once again, the whole way through, we've just been throwing money at him because it seems like it's going to unlock a social link mostly. And I guess partially out of just being that contrarian, because you're intentionally ignoring that logical voice of, no, I'm not going to give a stranger money under this promise of an investment. So I handed him another 10,000 yen, and he seemed to kind of catch on to that side of me as well, because rather than that happy smile he's had before, he just kind of stared at me blankly, didn't say anything. And basically then he just kind of, that mask fell away, and he said, "What are you doing?" This is obviously a scam. Anybody with half a brain knows that what I'm doing is a scam. Why do you keep giving me money? I asked for 20,000, you gave it to me. I asked for 10,000, you gave it to me. I just asked you for another 10,000 and you gave it to me. Nobody does that. Why are you doing this? It was just kind of like his view of people in the world was shaken by my blindness to common sense, basically. And he said, this has been fun and interesting, but I'm not having as much fun anymore when you keep falling for it, basically. It almost felt like he likes the scam side of it more than the actual aspect of receiving the money. Not that I think he minded the money, but he also did say that he's not going to be giving me my 40,000 yen back. That was, partially a life lesson, but he did autograph a business card for me. And it was there when it came to light that it was something we all probably already knew, but this was, in fact, the one and only President Tanaka of Tanaka's Amazing Commodities. I'd had some idea before this as well, so it had kind of taken some effort not to actually refer to the man in the suit as Tanaka until yesterday, but now we officially know that this is President Tanaka himself. And so he said, hold on to that signed card. That's going to be worth some money in the future. So I guess in a way, I bought an investment with my 40,000 yen. And then he turned away and was talking to himself, assuming that I'd left, and still just kind of wondering how someone could be so stupid and fall for a scam like that. Only for him to then realize I was still there, as I basically was just still standing over his shoulder. And he was a little concerned. He said, I've got a reputation to maintain here. You can't go telling people what I said or anything, I would sue you for that. You cannot do that. And I said, sure, yeah, I'll keep that secret. And that kind of fell back into that same circle of people not reacting appropriately in his eyes. He's like, blind obedience comes with a cost. You can't just keep giving in to everything and saying yes to everything that people say. You have an interesting future, personality, everything about you. I think he was intrigued by someone like me just because I was so atypical from the type of people he usually interacts with. And he said, I could take you under my wing. You could be something of an apprentice of mine. I could show you how the world really works. Kind of work through that naive side of you and teach you how to defend yourself in a world like this. And, you could be my protege type thing. And he said that, he takes breaks here in the evenings and he would love to teach me some lessons going forward if I ever have any interest. And if I find him there and he's not busy. I thought that would be kind of interesting. I mean, he's a dubious character, but he's also a successful businessman, and he's got insights that I'm sure would help me in some capacity. So I thought that would be an interesting thing to agree to, so I did. And that unlocked a brand new social link, the Devil Arcana. We talked about that a little bit yesterday, and all these deals we're making, and the Devil Arcana. It's a little on the nose sort of thing, but it is a brand new social link. Another thing in the evening to look at doing as well. Not that I've had a shortage of things to do, but I haven't had as many evening social links, so it'll be interesting going forward to try to work that into my schedule. And from there, I headed back to the dorm. I thought that was going to be the end of the day, but we had one more scene during the dark hour. Once again, Pharos showed up, and about as soon as he did, I realized that he was probably there to tell me about the full moon in 1 week. And he actually asked me if I knew why he was here. I said, I think I do. And he confirmed my thoughts. He said, yep, it's a full moon in 7 days. I want to make sure you're ready. And just, do all you can to prepare. And he says he's wishing me luck and that he plans to see me again. So I appreciated that. We are friends now. We're on a first-name basis. He's no longer the mysterious boy. He is Pharos. So it was nice of him to take that time to warn me and just reaffirm in my head that I've got 7 days to finish getting ready. So with that, I got back to sleep. It was a nice, busy social day. And that was how the day ended and the month ended. So I will get us into the game today to see how we can begin the new month and just how the week continues to move along. We'll be right there. Okay, so here we are. This is actually the end of yesterday, Tuesday the 30th, and the last bit of talking with Pharos.
Don't worry, I'll come see you again.
So yeah, definitely nice to have him in my corner. But there we go. That is the end of the month. We are in July 1st now. Still weird to say.
Good morning.
And here's Mitsuru out in front of the school. The next full moon is almost upon us. Are you feeling prepared? We've kind of talked about that the other day, and I, for the most part, am. We're good on equipment from Officer Kurosawa, plus what we found in Tartarus for the last few climbs. I do need to stock up on medicine again. I did use some of my healing and revival items against a foe that I underestimated on night before last. So, there will be a sale on Saturday. I'd like to catch up on some medicine there just to be sure, but Other than that, I might want one more trip to Tartarus just to kind of level up a little bit more, but all things considered, I'm feeling pretty good about preparation this month. So yeah, I guess that's a wordy way of saying of course.
All right.
Good. I'm counting on you. According to the cycle, it should appear on July 7th at midnight. That's 6 days from now. The number of incidents has also been increasing as we've gotten closer to the full moon, so stay alert. Yeah, we definitely have been noticing more of the lost around. We've also been hearing more rumors, specifically this month, about couples being found unconscious together. We don't really know for sure if that's tied to the upcoming shadow activity, but we seem to have good reason to believe it's a likely case, so not sure how we can really act and prepare for that, but it's information to keep in mind as we go forward. Oh, a good reminder from Mitsuru there. And another quick school day. Though recently I have had a chance to answer some questions in class, so I'm not regretting not having the chance to try to prove myself today. I was lucky the last couple times and was able to correctly answer them, but on a nice normal day like this, I'm happy to have a standard Wednesday. So class is ended for today. Alright, we've got a lot of people in here again. There's Bebe. Is it weird that I typed that? He said greetings. Yeah, I don't think so. I'm happy that Tom Dono sews too. Well, that's encouraging. He seems like he's in a better mood than he was yesterday. And I mean, he was in a better mood yesterday than he was the day before, so hopefully he's moving in a positive direction with everything. It will be good to see him again. I did spend time with him yesterday, so I mean, that's not a reason not to spend time with him today, but I'll keep all my options open. Also, it would be nice to see Yuko again here, coaching. Ooh, a longer one. How's it going? Do you remember how I agreed to coach those kids for their race? I know they've been waiting for me, but do you have time to tag along? I don't know if I can do it alone. I'd love some of your advice. I also went to the student council on Monday, so I'm recently spent time with Odagiri. Work related. This is Odagiri. There's nothing of great importance today in regard to the student council activities. Therefore, attending will be optional. Do come if you have time. I will be in the student council room dealing with that problematic issue. And of course, we can't have all social links. It's got to be one ad in here as well. Wakatsu, healthy brain food. Are you eating well? Keeping a well-balanced diet nourishes your brain, which in turn can improve your studies. We prepare great food with all our hearts just for you. Remember, a healthy brain stems from healthy food. Wakatsu's got your back. Alright, that looks like a lot of good choices. Oh, there's Junpei. How you doing, Junpei? Happy July.
By the way,
1 week until the next full moon. When I was little, I used to count the days before the important events. Did you do that too? I actually did, now that I think about that. Yeah, that's kind of a fun nostalgic reminder. It was that fun little countdown for everything, you know, big or small. It's like, you know, of course the big things, but yeah, things like the full moon. It's like, oh yeah, that's a week away. You know, watching the calendar, it's like, okay, there's the full moon, or oh yeah, here comes the half moon. And so yeah, I did that. So you ready for this big event? It's not the same as when we were kids. That is definitely true. The stakes are a lot different in something like this. I mean, this full moon is a little more to it than just a moon in the sky. And again, it's another cool thing to just say I share something else with Junpei in that regard. I was going to check how everybody else spent their time. Mostly social links, a few daily life. Hiraga and the art club, Yuko, the old couple, and Odagiri. They're the standouts here. It would be good to see it would be good to see all of them, but it would be good to see Hiraga again as well. We've got exams coming up in 2 weeks from yesterday now, which means I believe that all of next week, as well as the week of exams, we won't have access to any of the after-school club activities. They've said before that with with exams coming up, those don't meet. So I've kind of tried to prioritize those a little bit more, just because I won't have access to them. I don't know if that actually applies to Yuko or not, since she's not really a club per se. I mean, it would be nice to see her again as well. But, I mean, by that same logic, going down and seeing the art club again, because time will be limited to get back with them, could be good as well. But I'll make my rounds around town and see what else I can see, and maybe something else will take my attention in a third or fourth or whatever number we're up to direction. I've got the stylish student here with something new to say. Well, there's that revenge website, but it sounds like just a rumor to me. I kind of thought so as well, but I was able to purchase a link to that website from the URL dealer at Club Escapade, and it turns out it is a real, genuine thing. And it seemed just as bad as everyone would think, with lots of people posting people they want revenge on. I was able to gain some courage by subjecting myself to it, which was nice, but it's nice to have, solid concrete proof that it isn't just a rumor. And we also had that cutscene with the mysterious trio of people behind Port Island Station in the outskirts that one night, where the transmogrified student turned back, and the shirtless man with the tattoos, shot him basically. I mean, he didn't kill him, but apparently he was there to enact the contract for the revenge website in some capacity. So there's a lot of questions all over the place there, but I guess circling back, that just gives more proof to the revenge website being a lot more than a rumor. Peering down all the different halls here. Yeah, so I'm kind of torn between Yuko and the art club today. Both would be fun to see. So I'll keep thinking about that as we walk around. There's also a social link available. That probably means Maiko's at the... Well, I can't say for sure, but I'd like to believe that's Maiko at the shrine. Probably Suimitsu at Polonia Mall, and the old couple at the Iwatodai Station Mall. Yeah, my cup runneth over for options for time to spend. Oh, that's Lazy Student. We just talked to him the other day and he had something new to say. Dude, check this out. There's lazy people all over. What's going through their minds? Nothing, I guess. I'm so jealous. Man, I want to be just like them. I'm already naturally lazy, so I've got a head start on achieving total blankness of mind. We've talked before about the lazy student and how he feels some level of pride in his laziness, and this just fully encapsulates that. He's like a professional lazy person. I'm not sure he actually wants what he's wishing for, but I hope whatever he does, he finds happiness. Hopefully it's that safe kind, though. I mean, hopefully he doesn't end up like the person at my feet here who I barely even noticed. Oh, and here's another one. I don't think I've talked to Apathy Syndrome Woman over here this far over. Yep, that's how that one sounds. Screenshot, what are we seeing today? Love Jatem Sarejo. It's now showing. That would work on my academics. I want to do some of that before exams, but I've been saying that and I haven't really done much with my academics. Just because I haven't been, I guess, doesn't mean I won't be. Oh, looks like the delinquents have something new to say. Timid Cat's looking good. Weak Cat, how are you today? Happy July. Mew. Alright. Languid Delinquent. The whole reason I hang out here is to shoot the shit with my buds. Those three weirdos are the ones who come here and try to learn stuff. Those three weirdos are the only ones who come here to try to learn stuff. They need to get a life. I wonder which weirdos he's referring to. I mean, I could see it being the shirtless man with the tattoos and the girl in the white dress and the guy in the green suit, but I could also make that same case that he's talking about Junpei Yukari and I, since we came here asking questions about the rumors a couple weeks back. Interesting. Maybe Fierce-Looking Delinquent will clarify it a bit. Looks like those three weirdos have been snooping around here. Guess they're trying to hear the juicy stuff. The stuff you don't find out about in normal life. Yeah, it still sounds like our investigation into the rumors. Thankfully they didn't put two and two together if I am one of the ones that they were thinking about. Let's head over to the Iwatodai Station. I've been leaving that the evening a lot of times, so we'll see if the afternoon has anything different going on. More apathy syndrome people, kind of to be expected. Nobody that wants me to talk to them, though. Likewise, I don't see anybody here, other than, again, more lost. I don't think I've talked to you yet, apathy syndrome student. Not bad. And I could spend time at bookworms with the elderly couple. So I'll keep that in mind, but we'll see. I could also spend time with Maiko. I do want to continue her story, hopefully in a positive direction. I also do kind of wonder, though, again, with exams coming up, if she might be one of the ones I'm able to interact with in lieu of club activities. Not to put her off, because I don't want anything bad happening with her, but I can thankfully check in now and at least see that she is safe, which is the biggest, most important thing. So we'll hope that continues to be the case. Here looks like a nice, fun place to clear our heads of our afternoon walk for a little bit and just kind of calm down a bit and take it all in. So let's do that while we're here. All right, everybody feeling good? I am too. Actually, it is July 1st. It is definitely summer. It's summer where I am, so in addition to taking that little mental break, I'm going to take a quick water break. It'll be just a second. Okay, I'm back, and I hope you're all staying hydrated as well. So let's continue on with our afternoon now that we're spiritually and hydrationally revigorated. Yep, there's Suimitsu on the bench. We've got You're the Answer to work on academics and Edgar's House of Fortunes. Gosh, it's getting hot again. This kind of heat calls for some Aojiru sorbet. He's really doing a good job selling it. I wish he was actually selling it. But hello, pharmacist. Happy July 1st. Thank you for being here. I'm going to browse his stock today and then probably plan to do some shopping here on Saturday. Yeah, looks like the same things we've had before. A couple Band-Aces. It'll be nice to restock those since we had some party members go down in combat the other day. But I'll wait for those to be on sale. So that's it for me today. Thank you very much.
Come again, yeah?
I will.
Now you're here.
Lately, there's been an increase in apathy syndrome cases among pairs of men and women. That's all I know. But could there be a reason for it? In any case, feel free to take a look around and see if you need anything.
What'd you bring?
Nope, nothing here. So I'm just here to check in, Officer Kurosawa. Thank you for the information about the couples. I've heard that around, but it's, again, nice to have that from a more credible source. Someone in law enforcement has access to more relevant information. So that will actually kind of, feels like I gained a little bit of important knowledge just by hearing it confirmed in this way. So thank you for that, and thank you for the support. Hope you're doing well.
All done here?
I am.
Be seeing you.
Alright, the only other place back here I want to stop is the Velvet Room. And I want to come up with a plan for the afternoon. I guess let's take a look. It would be good to see Yuko and do some time, spend some time with her helping those students. It would also be nice to spend some time with the art club. We're only in rank 3 there, so it'd be kind of nice to pull that a little bit closer to inline. And Suimitsu. We've seen him a lot of afternoons, so that kind of feels similar to Keisuke. No, Keisuke's in studio, Kenji. And that he's more often available than some, so it's just hard to prioritize some over the others, but when some are more available, there's a tendency in my playthroughs for them to kind of fall to that back burner, unfortunately, sometimes. So I don't want to let it go too long, but there will be days when I run out of other options, and it's nice to just have some of those social links to fall back on for the more readily available ones. Roundabout talk. Oh, I guess I'm only ranked 4 in strength as well. Oh, but yeah, I said I was ranked 3 in the art club. Conflicted. I do have a fortune. Well, I've got fortune and strength, so I'm covered in both of those regards as well. Well, I guess either way, I don't need to pick up a persona while I'm here at the Velvet Room, because if I'm torn between these two, I'm covered in both directions. And I guess, I mean, there's no real preference on one over the other necessarily. It would be kind of nice to get back to help those students as they're preparing for that race, and it does feel like it has been a little while since I've done anything with Yuko compared to spending time with the art club, which I did not a long time ago. I can't remember exactly how recently, and I'm not going to subject you guys to me hearing and hawing about exactly when it was, but kind of just talking that out there, I think I lean more towards Yuko in the moment. Elizabeth.
Marvelous.
I can sense that the power growing within you stems from the bonds you have forged and nurtured. Here, it may not be much, but this is my gift to you. Please accept it. 3 Twilight Fragments.
I'm looking forward to
I
it.
still cannot foresee the limits of your potential. I look forward to witnessing you grow even further. How may I assist you?
Are you accepting a request?
Oh, well, looks like I already have.
Very well, then.
So it's always kind of nice for her to provide me with some additional Twilight Fragments there. It kind of shows I'm making progress with my various social links. It's nice to have that unexpected reward as a result. So I'm not here for much other than to stop in and say hi. We kind of talked the other day, just offhand wondering what's like in the Velvet Room
Welcome
here.
to the Velvet
Is
Room.
it cool? Is it warm? Is it the exact same temperature every time? Either way, Igor, Elizabeth, nice to see you again. The start of a new month. I hope you'll continue to help me this coming month. I'll count on your support, and I'll do what I can if I can help you as well. But just here to say hi.
We look forward to your next visit.
Nice to see you both. Short, to the point. Don't want to take up a lot of their time. I'm not sure how busy they are, but it's not right for me to just assume that they're not doing anything because they're available to me. So, seeing them and saying hi was enough for me. Let's make our way back to the school. And Yuko's text message already kind of conveyed where we left off with her last time, and we encountered those kids at the mall actually that were running around because they couldn't play at the playground. And that was because some 6th graders had basically kicked them out to play soccer instead. And they said they couldn't have the playground back unless they beat them in a race. So they were practicing and running around at the mall to try to do what they could there because they don't think they're fast enough to be able to beat the 6th graders. And Yuko knew those kids as well, so she took them here to the school with me and showed all of them the track that we have. And they were amazed by the big professional-looking facility, and they were able to run there because we got permission from the school. And Yuko gave them some pointers on how to improve, and it seemed to work for some of them, so they wanted her to coach them. They figured if they had some professional coach like Yuko, then they'd be able to they'd even beat the 6th graders. And she thought that might be kind of fun, wondered what I thought. I think she'd be perfect for doing something like that. And she was happy to hear that, but she also kind of wanted my support on that. She's like, if I'm doing that, would you mind assisting me? I'm still technically new at all this myself, and I could use some help, which sounded like a lot of fun to me as well. I figure I can probably learn from this whole process as well, and the fact that I'm on the track team might kind of give me more credibility in anything that I'm able to recommend with the team, with the younger students as well. So yeah, there were just a lot of good ways. It sounded like a fun activity. But let's double check, in here and make sure. Yuko and I ran into some kids playing at the mall. When she heard about their situation, she decided to let them use our school's field. She even became their coach. So, that's where we were. I don't think I've saved it yet this month, so let's do that. That's better. Hey, how have you been? Those kids have really been getting on my case about the whole coaching thing. The track's open since there's no practice today, so I'm wondering if I should just do it. Yeah, I think it'd be fun. Okay, great. I'm going to ask the teacher for permission to use the track then. I'll see you at the field. Counting on you, Coach. Likewise, Coach.
Straighten your back. And don't forget to swing your arms.
Coach, guess what? I beat Yuki-chan!
Congratulations.
I swung my arms really hard, just like you said.
That's got to be cool for both parties. For the student, she feels like she's learning and that what she's being taught is actually useful and paying off already. And she's seeing the noticeable results from the new technique of swinging her arms. And the same for Yuko. She's seeing the student getting faster, but seeing that her advice actually was able to lead to that happiness and that result's got to be really cool for her as well.
Wow, seriously? That's amazing.
Nice.
Okay, next time I want you to try running running with your toes raised.
I like that too. You don't want to let down that momentum. It's like, okay, that part worked, so now try this as well, and you'll be even better. Kind of really setting that foundation. The proper form is just going to be literally that foundation to all the subsequent things she can learn. So seems like a good coaching approach from Yuko here.
You'll go even faster that way.
And to motivate her with the very direct, here's why, it'll make you faster. She doesn't care about all the technicals about, oh yeah, it'll support this muscle and these tendons and your ligaments and all that. It's like, you'll be faster. And that's all the elementary school student cares about, so definitely speak their language, motivate them that way.
Got it, Coach.
Keeping it easy, yeah.
Phew. I did a lot of research on this, so I'm glad to see it's actually working.
Nice. Yep, and Yuko definitely seems like the kind who does put in the effort and prepare for things like this. She's talked about not really knowing what she wants to do with her future before, but when she has something she wants, she definitely seems like the kind that doesn't take half measures. She goes all out on stuff.
I mean, now that I've agreed to coach them, I gotta do a good job.
That's
right?
true, yep. You make that promise, you've got to live up to it.
I even used the school library for the first time to put together a training routine.
Very cool.
I gotta say though, I'm amazed how much their times have improved just from correcting their form.
And again, yeah, I've been circling back. That's got to just be so encouraging for both of them. She sounds just as proud of them as they feel about themselves. And I'm proud of her for doing that research and having her research pay off in that same regard.
Elementary school kids really learn fast, don't you think?
I do. Yeah, they do learn fast, and it is impressive, but it also takes a good teacher. You could have a teacher that doesn't care or just puts in the bare minimum effort, and the kids are going to pick up on that. I mean, kids are smart, so they will know if somebody's talking down to them or trying to talk around them. And I could tell as motivated as that Meek student was that Yuko was helping her, so I think it is because she teaches so well. I don't want to just have that come across like some sort of flirting or general flattery, but a good teacher is an important part of that equation. So yeah, I'm gonna go with that. It's because you teach so well.
Oh, I don't know about that.
No, I mean I do. I really feel like that is genuinely actually the case. I mean, she talked about putting in the effort and the research in the library and coming up with a plan, so she was able to do that in a positive, professional way while still conveying it to an elementary schooler who's going to see it in a totally different way, and to make it understandable and fun for them. Could you ask for more?
But hearing you say so does make me feel like I can do anything.
I'm glad.
These kids really give it their all. Oh.
1,000 demon sprint!
Maybe I'll have to learn from Spunky Boy there. Maybe I could use that on my track team practices. 1,000 demon sprint.
Okay, one more round.
Hey, hold on a second. You're all supposed to be on break right now. It's important to take time to get good rest.
That's also a good foundational bit of advice to give. I kind of wish I could convince Miyamoto of that as well. It'd make that chariot social link feel a little more approachable. That he's so determined to just keep training.
Kids your age need to be careful not to overdo it. You could get really hurt.
There was also that feeling with Akihiko back in April and May. He was kind of going through the same thing, recovering after the shadow attack in April. He really wanted to get back to it. He was trying to do everything he could to stealthily train, and Mitsuru had to keep reminding him that he needs to focus on recovery so he doesn't make things worse.
Yeah, but there's no time for that.
Well, Miyamoto's basically word for word on that one. I can't stop my training because there's this big All-Japan meet, and any day I'm not training is days I'm losing progress, so I need to train every day.
We can keep going. Come on, we gotta show our fighting spirit.
Spirit is one thing, but you need to know your limits as well. Only by knowing them can you push past them safely.
I suppose we do only have so many days to train here.
No, don't go back on your word. You were talking about the importance of recovery, and I'm totally with you on that.
I don't know. What do you think? Should I change the training routine? Maybe they should be running more.
No, I think she's got to go with her gut there. she did the research already. She confidently stopped them and told them they need to be on a break and that they need to focus on the recovery side of things just as much as the active training side of things. So I think she's got to stick to her guns on this. I like the total cop-out answer of, oh, I trust whatever you decide, Yuko. I mean, I do trust whatever she decides, but that just kind of feels like she's asking me for my advice. So just to say, oh, basically, I don't care. Whatever you want to do is fine. I don't think she should change it. I think what she has is already a good plan. She shouldn't change it.
Really?
Yeah, really.
Yeah, you're right. Our number one priority is not getting hurt.
If you try to run for 10 more minutes today and end up hurting yourself and having to take off a week of recovery, you've lost a lot more time than you've gained trying to overtrain. So rest is just as important as the active training side of things.
I'm your coach now, so you stop running when I tell you to stop.
That's right.
That's a promise you've got to keep. But in return, I'll make sure you get faster than you've ever been.
Perfect. Exactly the way she should handle that. That's I would say that's the sign of a great coach right there. It's like, here's why I'm doing this. If you trust me with this training, then this is what you will gain from it. I'm not doing this to be unfair or harsh or mean or anything like that. This is part of training. And if you follow the training this way, you'll get the results that I'm hoping that we can achieve. So it's that fair deal. You may not see it now, but I promise, if you follow this plan, you'll get stronger, you'll get faster, and you'll get what you're trying to get as well.
How does that sound? Think you can keep that promise?
And again, she's talking to them as equals. She's making a deal with them. She's not lording her position as coach over them, or the fact that she's a high schooler and they're elementary schoolers. It's that coach and athlete relationship. I'm training you, and you're being trained by me, and here's what you want out of this, and here's how I'm going to help you get there. Can we agree to that? Again, kids are smart, so I'm thinking they would respect that sort of approach.
Auntie Coach, you're on fire.
I'd forgotten he was calling her Auntie Yuko, and I like how he put those together now, and she's Auntie Coach.
What did you just call me? All right. Those who agree to the terms, go back to your break.
She was able to reel in her emotions right there, so that's another good bit of maturing professionalism.
Okay.
And they seem motivated.
Oh, sometimes I can't tell if they're actually listening to me or not.
I feel like she got through to him.
This kind of feels good, doesn't it? Like some coming-of-age story.
It does have a lot of those hallmarks to it. If you really frame it back and look, she was the one who got in trouble by her teacher, was told she needs to think more about her future, and she needs to actually do something more than just see what's right in front of her. And now she seems to be doing that by doing the research to help these kids and see how she can help them in the short term and the long term. By doing this, you'll grow, you'll get stronger, you'll get faster. Here's where you are today. Let's look at how you'll be tomorrow and next week and next month. So, yeah, it really does feel like it's that, story beat.
So, thanks for giving your input earlier. Honestly, if I was on my own, I would have let them keep running.
And that makes me feel good about choosing the choice I did, too, and rather than just saying I trust whatever you choose. She asked me for my input, and I feel good that I gave her the input. And I also feel good that she appreciated having that input. It wasn't one of those I overstepped where I was. If anything, I still feel like there's probably more I could and should be doing rather than just standing here with my hands in my pockets. But I'm sure whatever she asks me to do, I'm able to help out with.
I'm glad I asked you to coach with me.
All right.
It means a lot having you here.
And hearing that means a lot to me as well. It must mean I'm doing something right. So Yuko is starting to trust me more. Very exciting. I feel like our relationship has grown. There it is. Nice to make some progress. Feels like a little bit since we've actually risen a rank in the Strength Arcana. It's been fine to kind of get a meal with Yuko and talk things out, but to actually see steady, solid progress and a brand new rank here feels really good. Rank 5 with the team manager with Yuko.
Oh, by the way, the kids seem like they want to run with you.
Yeah, I'd be game for that.
Do you think you could do just one lap? It'd be setting a good example for them.
that would be fun, but there's also that, knowing that you're being scrutinized by the kids and trying to really make sure you're doing everything properly. But yeah, I mean, if I can do that to help, that would be great. I feel like I'm a decent member of the track team, so hopefully that would be a good motivating factor. And maybe I can be used as an example as well. Yuko can point out the things that, that she's trying to teach the kids. It's like, see how he keeps his back, or see how he uses his toes when he pushes off. Maybe it would be that good visual aid as well. So I'd be happy to do that. I practiced with the children until the sun went down. I should head back to the dorm. Should make for a good night of sleep tonight. Well, we've got the evening to enjoy first off.
I see you're back.
Oh, you're back. Did you hear? The next operation will be on July 7th. Everybody's doing a great job reminding me about the full moon coming up. Mitsuru this morning before school, Junpei in the classroom after school, Akihiko here in the lounge, even Pharos last night before bed, kind of during the dark hour after going to bed. But I appreciate that. It's, I've got no excuse to, have to be blindsided in a week when this comes up. Like, I didn't know the full moon was coming. There was no warning at all. That means it's going to be a Star Festival special bout. That taiyaki, I finally got it in the refrigerator yesterday. Should be chilled by now. Maybe I should go get it. I don't really, I don't exactly know what its purpose was, but it was one of those things that, I was able to buy the taiyaki by way of spending some time on the shared computer with a link I bought. So there's got to be somewhere to take it and something to use it on. I mean, it could just be a food item. They talked about it being good food, but I forgot to put it in there, so I could totally see myself forgetting to take it out if I also don't do that now while I'm thinking about it and we're talking about it. The lukewarm taiyaki I put inside earlier is sufficiently chilled. Now it's chilled taiyaki, and it looks like it is a recovery item. So I guess that's good. What would it do for me? Okay. Chewy, chilled, and delicious. Restores 100 HP to an ally. Okay. Okay. Well, healing item's a healing item. I guess I can't turn that down. Still, that feels like good progress. I've been wanting to get that in there for a while, so the story's gone full arc now, and I've got the chilled taiyaki as a reward for it. We'll put my bag away here in the room, and let's plan out our evening. We've got a limited menu from Hagakure Ramen. Today is our special menu day. We only have limited quantities, so get yours before they run out. First come, first served. Our tender pork is a friend of beautiful skin. Make yourself shine by eating at Hagakure. Game Parade newsletter, games. Come play our popular crane game and try to win a prize. Then stick around and hop into one of our many immersive video games. There's great fun to be had, whether you're alone or with friends. We can't wait to see you. And it's Wednesday, so the first 3 days of the week, Chagall Cafe has part-time open positions. We hope everyone is having a great day. Chagall is looking for someone to work at the cafe today. Students may apply, no experience required. This is a paid position, and the perks include free pheromone coffee. We look forward to meeting you. So, all good options there. A handful of people went to Tartarus tonight. Most people didn't. Most went daily life activities. Looks like a lot of good choices. I see Cooking with Sonata on there. That was kind of fun to do that the other day, so that might be something interesting to do. Although I was also talking about doing more academic-focused things, so maybe heading out to somewhere like Wakatsu. Or even Game Parade. I think You're the Answer was one of the games they had today. That could be a fun way to go somewhere air-conditioned and enjoy some time. We've also got everybody down here in the dorm, or in the lounge to talk to. Yeah, it wouldn't be bad to spend time with Akihiko again, though. Yukari. There's still so much we don't know about Tartarus and Shadows. But at least we know when the next operation day will be, so we can prepare for it. So, how well do you usually prepare anyway, Shima-kun? I like to think I prepare pretty thoroughly. We talk it out a lot. I try to make sure our gear's up to date, and then we've got some medicine on hand. So I think I prepare thoroughly.
Oh, wow!
Really? I'm impressed. No wonder you're our leader. I mean, I'm happy to hear her say that, but there's also that partial bit of doubt in my head. If she has to ask me how well I prepare, it must not be clear that I prepare overly well. But she didn't instantly think that I'm ill-prepared, so I guess I'll take that and run with that. Interrupt Mitsuru while she tries to read here. As you may recall, I handled support before Yamagishi joined us, so I was worried my sword skills might have deteriorated. However, muscle memory kicked in, and I seem to be as capable as ever. That she does. She's definitely, I don't want to say a good addition to the team because she's been with the team the whole time, but having her out on the front lines with us is very encouraging. Let's see what's on TV. Leaving people wondering when they'll be able to use their umbrellas. As a result, umbrella sales have plummeted this year. Compared to last year's rainy season, vendors are reporting a 70% drop-off in revenue. That is an interesting point that I kind of, maybe had in my head, but didn't really talk about, I don't think. And just the weather always seems so pleasant outside. I don't think we've had one rainy day. That might be, more a relic of the game itself, but just kind of nice that the world talks about that too. It's like on the news. It's like, there's been a lot less rain this year. 70%, drop in revenue from what people talked about selling umbrellas. It's a nice little background flavor text, but it also does kind of contribute to the fact that, it hasn't been raining, has it? Let's head over to the mall here. I kind of remember talking the other day, again, when we were spending time with Bebe, and we learned that his aunt had passed away. And just, the impermanence of things. And that same night, I'd considered going out and getting a meal, or going out to the arcade, or going back and doing some cooking with Yukari, I think it was. And I was really, really close to going and getting dinner, when I kind of figured that there's a good chance that restaurant will still be there, and that dinner could happen any other night, but we don't know anything about the people around us. So by that same logic, again tonight, there's kind of that thought of, do I really want to go out and get dinner myself, or do I want to take this chance to try to cook alongside Akihiko and try to learn from him and spend that time together? Thinking about it like that, I really do think I do want to end up trying to make my way back to the dorm and just enjoy spending that time with him. I'm sure I'll try to learn something from him, and hopefully we'll enjoy our time together, and it'll be just as fun as last time. But just making that personal connection, I could get a plate of fish anytime, but I can't always say the same for the people around me. No Motatsu-san tonight. So we'll just enjoy the club here for a second. Looks like I've got about the same level of moves as most people on the floor here. Alright, that was fun. Let's continue on with the evening now. But yeah, talking all that out, I think I'm going to make my way back to the dorm after doing a little bit more of a walk around town. It is a brand new month, actually, now that I say that. Let's head back into Club Escapade and just make sure that URL vendor in the back doesn't have anything new to sell me. He's probably still got that one forum note about Iwatodai. Yeah, which didn't seem like a huge draw to me right away. One of these days, I'm sure I'll get around to it, but today I don't think is that day. But again, nice to just kind of stop in and check on that. Want to just keep tabs on all my options. I'm going to make my way over to Iwatodai Station just for a little bit more to see with our evening. There's no sense in doing just one thing and having that be all I do. How different this place looks in the evening compared to how it was in the afternoon. Yeah, while I'm here today, I am going to head upstairs. I've really been, kind of the same idea as checking the URL vendor. I want to check over and see the net cafe. For a while, they've been sold out of all the new things, but one of these days I'm sure they'll get something new to purchase again. So I figured the start of a new month might be a time for that to happen. I'd have been wrong if I was thinking that today, but again, there's just that knowing now. And the fact that we can plan the evening and say, well, after I spent time with the track, or on the track teaching those students, I came back to the dorm. I talked to everybody there, and then I stopped by Club Escapade. Then I browsed at the net cafe. And then I made my way back to the dorm and cooked with Akihiko. So it wasn't just like, oh yeah, my evening was cooking, and then I went to bed. Those are the big, cornerstone moments of the night, but there was a lot more to it than just that one thing. And with it being summer, it's probably the best time to be out when the sun is down and it's just that little bit cooler. Still also probably nice to get back inside and hopefully have that air conditioner vibe and just really enjoy that. But here is Akihiko. It was fun to cook with him last time. It was nice basic cooking. We boiled a variety of things. Chicken and things and broccoli. And then we just, packed those into pre-portioned proper portions, got those in the freezer, and that was just an easy bit of protein to have on hand as soon as we wanted it and needed it. It was low effort, high reward, good utility. So I don't know, he also said it was a lot of fun, and doing it with an extra pair of hands made the whole process go that much faster. So he was thinking that maybe we could try something a little more daring next time. So we'll see if he's come up with something new that we can work on tonight. I think that'll be a fun way to spend Wednesday evening. Hopefully I can learn something and we'll have a lot of fun doing it.
Yeah.
Oh, Shima. Can you help me out with cooking again? It's a lot for me to try to do by myself. Looks like Sonata wants me to cook with him. I already have all the ingredients, so can you help me? Yeah, sounds like fun.
I owe you one.
Thanks. Then let's get to it.
I recently expanded my outdoor exercise regimen, and I wanted to boost my nutrition and match.
Nice. Yeah, we've talked a few times about how serious he takes all of his training and things like that, and just how much it seemed that he sees food as a side of training. So for him to talk about this kind of going hand in hand again just really does fit that same characterization we've already seen.
So I got some pork liver today because it's supposed to be rich in iron.
Rich in iron, all right. And we all know that iron helps us play, so that's got to be a good way to, contribute to our training, having the right nutrients.
But I don't think it'll taste like much if I just boil it like usual.
True.
That's why I'm gonna try cooking a pork liver stir fry. I already looked up how to make it. Think you can help out?
If you think I can, I'm willing to try. It feels like my character probably knows, hopefully he knows more than I do because I feel totally lost in the kitchen, but this is also that good hands-on chance that he's got the materials on hand, he knows the recipe, so if he can coach me through it, hopefully the two of us can work together to create something good. Yeah, I'm definitely willing to try, and if he's willing to take that gamble on having my help, I'll try to live up to it. Do it yourself. I'm not going to tell him that. No, yeah, you bet. We can definitely do this. A lot of success comes from attitude, right? So I'll just try to stay positive and say, you bet. There is that voice in my head that says, oh man, that does sound hard, but I'm going to try to stay confident and positive without coming across as overconfident. You bet.
Good to hear. You like this dish too?
It does sound good.
I've already cleaned the meat ahead of time. All that's left is to cook the liver, then stir the chives and bean sprouts in. And that should be it.
Okay. Kind of like, Yuko coaching the kids. It kind of feels nice to hear him break it down like this to me. Rather than just presenting this full recipe, he's broken it down into more manageable steps. Okay, all we need to do is cook the liver, stir in the chives, stir in the bean sprouts, and that should be it. And it's like, okay, that sounds a lot more attainable than just a nebulous recipe. And so in this case, I'm that elementary school student that needs to kind of be talked to in more manageable terms, and I feel good about that. Ooh.
Wow, this is great.
Yeah, it sure looks good. Again, we talked the other day on stream about that too, and just how great the game does at portraying food. It always looks so appealing, colorful, good texture, all that fun stuff. It's making me hungry. I don't know about you.
I guess it was a good thing I took the time for all that prep.
That's another great point too. A lot of things, not just cooking, but cooking especially too, you get out what you put in. So taking the time ahead of time to get things as prepared as possible just pays dividends later. And cutting corners can also run into the opposite effect of, if you spent a little bit more time, this might have come out better. So nice to hear that he put the time in and he's feeling rewarded for it.
They say a boxing match is decided before the bell even rings. Maybe this is kind of the same thing.
I suppose it would be kind of similar, yeah. By doing all the preparation and training ahead of time, you're that much more able. And if the other guy hasn't, then you're coming in with a decided advantage. The match itself, I guess, is the final test for all the training. I guess kind of like a finished dish is kind of the test of all the preparation that went into it. Interesting. An iron athlete meal. Sounds good.
Oh, sorry. Obviously, this wouldn't have been possible without your help.
I'm glad he thinks that. I'm not sure how much I was able to actually contribute, since it sounded like he did most of the work before I even got here, but if he's happy, I'm happy, and I feel like I was able to walk away learning stuff about the actual culinary side of it, as well as more like the, philosophy of the kitchen, of the importance of preparation, and just kind of tying that to more than just food prep. maybe that was me getting distracted in the kitchen while he was doing all the work. But either way, it seems like we had some fun.
I've still got a lot to learn, but it's hard to make time for it with all my training and stuff. Maybe if I attach weights to the pan when I'm flipping, I could kill 2 birds with 1 stone.
That's a way to look at it, but I suppose that's the other cautionary side of preparation. And doing too much and overtraining, kind of like, again, looking back at the students this afternoon, you need to know where to focus and what to prioritize, basically. So, if you're training, work on training. If you're cooking, work on cooking. And, if all things have their place, then, by that same logic, I don't think he'd be eating this stir fry while in the ring. So why would he be trying to prepare for being in the ring while making the stir fry? I guess those are all thoughts I can have and we can talk about, but it's hard for me to bring up to him because the game is on wheels here. But it was fun to just have those thoughts, and that he enjoyed spending this time was encouraging as well. And it looks like that is the end of the day. It was a great day, so let's head back to the desk and talk about it. I'll take us right there. Okay, so here we are. That was the end of Wednesday, July 1st, and it was a great day. It felt like I accomplished a lot as I look back on the day. There were a lot of reminders about the upcoming full moon, just to really, really, really make sure that I can't have any way to say that I didn't know it was coming. The day started off right before school. I met up with Mitsuru at the gates, and she reminded me that in 6 days, this coming Tuesday, the moon will be full. And she just kind of asked me how my preparation was going. And I feel like it was going well, but it was nice to actually take that moment to really think about it and say, well, our equipment is good. Our medicine could be a little bit better, so I'll need to make time to pick up some of that. Our levels are decent, so it was just that time to take stock now rather than the day before. And it's like, oh man, I need this, and I can't get that anymore. It was nice to have that. The school day itself was a nice standard one. We learned whatever we learned, enjoyed socializing at lunch and all that. And pretty quickly it was the afternoon. And then it was Junpei's turn to kind of talk about the full moon coming up on Tuesday. And just like, he feels excited and ready for it, and it's nice to have a plan to know that it's coming. So that was another bit of a reminder. So I made my way around town just to see what I could see. Was able to actually see Maiko is still doing well at the Naganaki Shrine. So she hasn't thankfully followed through on her plan to run away just yet. We didn't actually spend, specific time with her, but it was nice to kind of by proxy check in on her and just see that she was okay. Because I wanted to make my way to spend some time with Yuko. It'd been a lot of time since we'd done anything, and she was talking about coaching those kids. And the track was available today. There was no track practice, so kind of felt like trying to take advantage of the time while we've got it made the most sense. Also hard to tell when the kids actually have this planned race with the 6th graders, so I don't really dare assume it's months from now and that I can just let this go forever. So I made my way over and talked to Yuko. And she brought the kids down to the track, and it was a lot of fun. The kids were making really good progress. She had advice on how they should swing their arms and how straight they should keep their backs, and just, good foundational things like that. And she was able to deliver it in a really easy to understand way with the kids that motivated them. And, they were feeling faster, so it was just a really good back and forth between the two of them. So while they were training, she and I talked, and she mentioned doing a lot of actual research into this. She said it was the first time she'd used the school library for anything like that, and she'd come up with all sorts of training regimens and understanding proper form and all the important sides of things of being a coach for a team like that. She's been the track team manager, which is a different role, but to actually take on more of a coaching role here, it's been a lot of fun to see her totally step into that and take it as seriously as she could. And at one point, there were a couple kids that were still running. One of them had made a super special move name for it. I can't remember off the top of my head, but it was kind of one of those special attack almost sorts of things. And he was, super motivated by that. And she went over and said, hey, you two, I thought I told you to take a break right now. And the kid's like, well, I'm not tired. We can keep going. Isn't it better to be training by training than just taking a break? I could take a break anytime, but we're here to run on the track now. And Yuko was a little conflicted at that point. She's like, well, I guess I could alter the training plan. But I told her to stick to her guns. She'd really put in all of the proper research, and I know she knows her it gave me the option to say, I trust whatever you choose, but I wanted to actually, she asked me for my opinion, so I gave it and said, no, I think we need to stick with the training plan you put together. It's based in good information, good solid research, and tailored specifically to the kids. So that was my recommendation as the assistant coach here. And that motivated her to turn to the kids and say, okay, assistant coach Shima is right. when it's time to run, it's time to run. And when it's time to take a break, it's time to take a break. And she also did this in such a perfect way. I mean, in the moment I said it as well, but looking back on it again, it's just so well done that she told these kids in a relatable way. She wasn't punishing them or scolding them for running and disobeying her. She said, look, if you take a break now, you'll be better able to run in the future. It may not seem like it now, but by taking a break, this is part of training. And she also made that promise with them and said, I worked on this training regimen, and if you trust me and if you trust it, then I promise you'll be faster, you'll be stronger, and you'll be able to do better in that race with the 6th graders. So it was talking on their terms to the kids as equals rather than as some authority figure. It was just, the kids seemed excited. They felt even more motivated after that. So they were like, okay, we'll rest now, and then we'll run when you tell us to run. So everybody was happy, and it's just kind of going to feed into that respect for their coach, respect for the athletes and their side of things, and just good training and growth across the board. Nobody's going to get frustrated and say, oh, she's an authoritarian. I don't want to deal with this anymore. I quit. This isn't fun anymore. Let's just let the 6th graders keep the schoolyard or something. They felt more motivated after that. So I just had even more respect for Yuko and her coaching style from that. And so as things were wrapping up there, she asked if I would be willing to run a lap myself and kind of show, as a member of the track team, some of the forms she's talking about and stuff like that. And so I did. Yeah, that seemed like a lot of fun. I was able to show the kids an actual member of the track team and what I was capable of. So hopefully I was able to motivate them in my own way. And it seemed like they were, because they went home happy. And after the fact, Yuko and I were still kind of talking again, and she said that she was happy that I was there to voice my opinion on the training regimen, and to actually say that I think she should stick with it. Because she said it would have been so easy to just change things and let them keep running, that it made a difference having you here. So I was very happy to actually be a productive member of the coaching staff here, and to be relied on like that. But I think we both made a lot of good progress, and the students did too, so that improved the social link rank for the Strength Arcana up to rank 5. Is it rank 5 already? I think it is. But yeah, that just felt like a really great use of the afternoon. And it was nice to catch up with her again after having it been a while. So from there, I headed back to the dorm. I talked to some people. Actually, when I came in, it was Akihiko's turn to remind me that I've got the full moon coming up on Tuesday. And he also encouraged me to make sure that preparation was going well. I think I just need to hear it from Fuka, and that'll be the whole team then. And I am glad for the reminder. I'm not going to try to say that this is like, oh man, they're still talking to me about this, because I do need to be responsible as like the combat team leader side of things. They have expectations that are rightly placed on me, and I need to be held accountable for that. So I would definitely rather they be on my side and warn me now of the impending time than to just assume I know things and let it get out of hand. But either way, I was able to retrieve the chilled taiyaki from the refrigerator. It looks to be a healing item, so it's not anything necessarily game-changing, but it's nice to have, and it's kind of that mini personal quest of buying the thing, forgetting to put it in the freezer, finally getting it in the freezer, and then, coming full circle and getting the item back for it. But yeah, I got that lukewarm taiyaki out of the freezer then, and it was no longer lukewarm, it was the chilled taiyaki. So it was nice to just, come all the way through that, and for a lot of people, that's not much of an accomplishment in the game, but for me, it was kind of one of those self-imposed quests over the last 2 weeks, so it was nice to have that come together. And from there, I needed to decide how to spend my evening, so I headed out to Club Escapade to kind of think about that. And I was going to consider, again, going out either to the arcade or to a restaurant and getting dinner, but that kind of got me thinking about the same thing we talked about the other day when we were talking about Bebe losing his aunt, and just how important it is to prioritize interacting with people as opposed to looking at going and getting dinner to work on my academics, or playing a video game at the arcade. Those would both be fun and encouraging, entertaining things that would work on goals I want to work on, but I had the chance to cook with Akihiko. He'd picked up some ingredients, and he'd enjoyed cooking with me last time, and he kind of wanted to do so again. And so I figured, nobody knows what tomorrow is going to bring. I'd like to spend the time with people rather than just getting a dinner somewhere. So I met up with him by the kitchen and said, reporting for duty, I'm here to help if you'll have me. And he was excited. He said he wanted to try to make something a little bit more complicated than before. So last time we just boiled things, chicken and the like, but this time he picked up some pork liver and wanted to make a pork liver stir fry. He had all the ingredients ready, and he prepared it ahead of time too. That was kind of the big talking point for this side of the story, and the importance of preparation. kind of relating that not just to cooking, but to all sorts of activities. He tied it back to boxing for himself, and a lot of fights are won before they even step in the ring, just by the amount of preparation that's done. And so we were able to kind of experience that through the cooking as well. He made the recipe sound really approachable. We just had to cook the meat and stir in the vegetables and things. So even for somebody like me with little culinary experience, I was able to contribute to that. And it looked like we made a really good dish after the fact. It was colorful. It looked like it had some good vegetables, the good pork liver in there. And he was happy with it. I was happy with it. And it just kind of showed that we are able to make something a bit more complicated than just boiling things. And he was also encouraged and said it was a lot of fun, and he hopes we can do it again next time too. So I will just continue to keep my eyes open for him. But it really did feel good spending time directly with Akihiko. Not doing something in Tartarus or anything like that, but just doing some, normal everyday activity like cooking together and talking and just being high schoolers together. He had fun, I had fun, and it was just a good time all around. So we got the kitchen cleaned up. I got a portion of the meal to take with me as I'm assuming a healing item. And with that, I made my way upstairs to bed. So that was how the first Wednesday, July 1st, ended. Still so strange to say it's July, but here we are, brand new month. But it was a very good day, a positive start to the month, and I've got that full moon in 6 days, so I just need to remind myself, since everyone else is also helping keep me reminded, that it is coming and I need to be ready. I want to thank you all so much for being here today. It means a lot that you've chosen to spend your time with me. I really, really definitely do mean it. For the follows, for the chatting, all of it, anybody that just wants to watch, you all mean so much to me, so thank you, thank you, thank you. I've been Tom Shima. I stream this Persona A Day series live every day at 12:30 Eastern Time. I've got that schedule up on my Twitch channel as well to convert into your local time if that's easier. But if you're ever available, I would love to have you here. I also upload each day's playthrough to a playlist on my YouTube channel because I know life is busy and it doesn't always work to make it in time for a live stream. So every day is available there for you to watch at whatever works best for your schedule. Watch as much or as little as you want, but that's why it's there for you. And so I hope everyone has a great Wednesday. We're coming into a new month today, so hopefully we've got all sorts of good aspirations and goals for things we want to work on. And hopefully you can also make some plans to have some fun throughout the month as well. And at a smaller scale, hopefully Wednesday can be a good start to that. Hopefully we're getting done the things we need to for our week, and we're making some time for ourselves in there as well. I have been Tom Shima. Thank you again for being here. I hope I can see you again. Until I do, I hope you take care. Thank you and goodbye.